started my career on a graduate programme at an American bank called Salomon Brothers. I became an equity derivatives trader. After that I got sick of London and the city and all that kind of stuff, so I wanted a bit of adventure, so I moved to Beijing. And I think the only way to truly get to know or understand a culture is to be able to live among the people. And so a lot of French friends were living in these really beautiful old houses that were a bit run down, a bit dilapidated, but really, you got to live a very Chinese experience. And they said, you should get one of these places. So I got one, a nice big one. And after the first one, I kind of realised that I'd really enjoyed the experience. It was understanding the building blocks that are needed for any renovation or any building, because they're all the same. Or each one has its idiosyncrasies, but the basics wherever you are in the world are the same. It's materials, manpower and knowledge, and if you bring them together correctly you end up with a beautiful building. If you think about it a bit and you have a slightly kind of a few parallel thoughts, a bit of brainstorming, you realise that there's actually a lot of potential in these old buildings that's not been realised. I started, the larger buildings in Hull with Kingston Villas in Payson Park. I then followed that up with the James Reckitt Library, which was Hull's first public library. And then after that I did the Charterhouse School on Wincolm Lee. And we converted that into 14 flats. And the interesting thing about that is that it was an old school, so all of the classrooms, were very high ceilings, beautiful high windows, and so what we did was we put lots of steel mezzanines in, so we got more livable space and used the heights of the classrooms. My ethos is that I wouldn't build anything that I wouldn't live in myself. I like to get the idea and I like to create, and I think that's what makes me tick. So right now we're in the Ensley Centre, which was a convent and a Catholic seminary. So it's a 4-acre walled site with beautiful gardens. Next to this building we've got what was the old chapel. So we're converting that into 18 1- and 2-bedroom flats. You've got to appreciate the aesthetic and also be respectful of the history. You can see a building and you can imagine how long it could have taken the people that built it to build it. I'm thinking of the Winding House on Victoria Dock. There's a chimney at the back, we're wrapping it in glass. There's going to be a sort of a circular lift in there, and every flat has a full view down the dock to the river. So it's going to be pretty spectacular. If you capture the essence of a building and you kind of add a modern touch, then you've succeeded. You'll make people think. I was at the end part of finishing a building. I needed a bit of money, and it was while I was doing that I met Darren Peacock. And so just in talking to Darren, I realised that he was somebody that I could work with that kind of would get me into the right situations and find me the right financing deals to suit me and my business. He's not only is he a professional, he's good at his job, but he's actually a very decent person. It was obvious that he would be able to make a difference and that he was willing to go the extra to do that.